Talk to me, Michelle. On the street lights on the corner. City vibes got a story. Feel the beat, don't ignore me.
Welcome into another episode of Talk to Me Michele. I am your host, Michele. Everybody should know by now that's with one L. Hey, I hope everybody's doing good because it's a very hectic week this week. It is Thanksgiving week, so you guys are probably traveling, preparing to travel, prepping food, getting family and friends together. This is that time of year where it's supposed to be about family, friends, and food. But let's be real. Some of the most potential drama occurs during Thanksgiving. Now, it doesn't always have to be that way. So I would like to offer some advice to get through this Thanksgiving. It's going to be a little mix of humor and insight. In this episode, I would like to share some of the unspoken rules that both guests and hosts can follow to ensure a drama-free Thanksgiving. So we're going to navigate from them nosy-ass questions about your love life to ensuring the turkey doesn't end up on the floor. I'm going to try to cover as much as I can, okay? Whether you're hosting a big holiday dinner or just bringing a side dish, these tips are going to help you keep the peace, embrace the joy, and maybe even create a few more funny stories to tell at the next gathering. Get ready to take notes because this Thanksgiving, we are all about to get some laughter, some love, and leaving the drama at the door. All right, it's time for Thanksgiving roll call to start this off because Thanksgiving in a black family is a vibrant tapestry of classic roles. Each person adds their own flavor to the holiday feast. So let's take a moment to spotlight some of those most recognizable characters that show up every year. And trust me, you'll know exactly who they are at your gathering. The chef. Who made the mac and cheese? Every family has got that chef, the culinary wizard, who takes a sacred responsibility of crafting the mac and cheese. This dish isn't just a side dish. Let me make y'all understand this. It's particularly the centerpiece of the meal. You can spot them in the kitchen, the aprons on, either they humming to themselves or they jamming some music that they love and stirring up a bubbly pot of cheesy goodness. And they're the ones who often get a little defensive when someone asks for the recipe because you're not going to, walk up out of here and take my glory. As if, sharing the secret ingredient would be akin to revealing the family's deepest secrets. When you have a sacred recipe or is it a particular dish that's slamming and people start, some of us can be a little funny about exchanging them recipes because we didn't put our own twist on it. So you don't know about that. You just got the generic version. This is my version. Now the guest who shows up with nothing but it has the nerve to take home not a plate, but plates. I said plates. Yeah, the infamous guest who arrives empty-handed, but he leaves with a stack of plates. I mean, they high. They waltz in with a smile. They charm everybody as they settle in for the feast, and you can always count on them to be the first to offer compliments on the food while they're secretly plotting their take-home strategy. They'll be plates in hand, packing the plates down and talking to you, just charming you. Oh, I just came to enjoy. You worked so hard on this. And they'll say it, like I said, as they load their plates up with all the best dishes, all the desserts. You love them, but you definitely got to keep a side eye on them. Like, dude, nobody else ate yet. And you already came in here with nothing. And you're going to take everything. We're not doing that. The one who always starts family debates. There's always a family member who takes it upon themselves to stir the pot, literally and very strategically, whether it's a heated discussion about politics, sports, or the best way to cook the collard greens. They thrive on a little friendly debate. And you'll find them at the table, they leaning back, with a grin on their face, and they about to drop, a little spicy opinion, and they initiate these conversations, and they will last well into dessert time. Now, one thing I know that my household, we don't tolerate, we're not discussing politics. You can watch the game and all that other stuff. Politics is a no-no at the table. We're not doing it. I'm trying to digest my food. I don't want to talk about them. Now, just when you think throw another little slick remark. And it begins all over again. Sit your ass down. The what time y'all starting cousin who shows up late. You can't forget about them because they always seem to operate on their own schedule. They'll text the whole group chat asking the start time. And even though they've been told a dozen times when it's going to start, somehow they always manage to roll in long after the turkey is carved, the first plates have been served. And when they finally arrive, they like to make this grand entrance. Like like they're on the red carpet or something. And they have this dramatic greeting. Oh, I hope I didn't miss anything. Well, if that was the case, you should have been here on time. Now, you love them for the energy, but deep down, you know they're going to be the last ones to fill their plate. And the classic roles add a delightful layer of being familiar to the fun Thanksgiving gathering. True enough, it's creating an atmosphere filled with laughter, love, and just a sprinkle of chaos. I really don't want none, but if you have to have any, just a sprinkle. So each character plays their part in the holiday drama. So no matter what role they play in, there's never a dull moment at the family table. Let's go over the do's and don'ts if you are a guest during Thanksgiving. Because Thanksgiving, is about the food. And when it comes to family gatherings, there are some unspoken rules that everybody should know and follow to ensure a drama-free holiday. So when you're invited to a Thanksgiving feast, showing up with a dish or drinks is not just polite, it's expected. However, there are some nuances to this tradition because it can make all the difference. First and foremost, please know your cooking level. Know if you are better heating up a can of ravioli versus making it from scratch. Please know that. And if you're confident in your culinary skills, feel free to whip it up, a little something special. But if you're more accustomed to reheating takeout, it might be best to stick with something that's store-bought or just bring a bottle of wine. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Certain dishes are sacred, and mac and cheese is at the top of that list. This is not the time to channel your inner gourmet chef and experiment with, all these different ingredients. You might think you have a little flair of adding truffle oil or a sprinkle of Cajun season that will elevate the dish. Please trust me, this is not the time to do that. This is not the time for any type of experiments on the food. When it comes to mac and cheese, family recipes are passed down through generations, and they have come with a whole lot of love, a Pacific blend of cheeses. Showing up with a new take on this classic, you asking for problems. Aunt Mabel been making this mac and cheese for years, and here you come. I thought I add a little something, a little cottage cheese. No, you don't do that. Nobody asked for your unique twist on a traditional recipe. So if you're unsure about your cooking level and you still want to contribute, there's plenty of ways to do so that will not make it a dramatic situation. Desserts are easy. A classic pumpkin pie or a tray of assorted cookies, never go wrong with that. Sweet, simple, doesn't require any culinary mastery. If you're going to bring drinks, bring an assortment of sodas, any type of different flavors they have, sparkling water, a bottle of wine. Drinks are always appreciated for this occasion because you got to wash your food down with something. And if you're a bit more confident, a simple salad or side dish like roasted vegetables, that can make a great addition without any risk of culinary disasters. Now, there are some things you don't do if you're invited as a guest to a Thanksgiving feast. As we gather around the table for Thanksgiving, it's essential to remember that there are some key don'ts that help keep the peace and ensure everybody enjoys the holiday. Let's talk about those surprise plus ones. You know the scenario. You're all set for a cozy family gathering, and then your cousin strolls in with a friend, and they didn't even bother to mention they were bringing somebody with them. And suddenly, the atmosphere shifts. You can almost hear the collective intake of breath as all the family members, they're exchanging side eyes at this point. And they whispering, who is that? Did they even ask, can they bring somebody? We are having this discussion in your face. We just whispering. Bringing unexpected guests can throw off a carefully planned dynamics of the gathering. It's not just about the food, it's about the relationships too, and the comfort level that everybody is going to be at with all the people that are present. When somebody shows up with a random plus one, it can feel like an invasion of the family bubble. It really does. It leads to an awkward introduction and scrambling to make sure that there's enough food for everybody. And I would flat out tell you, I mean, I've already been in the kitchen all day. Babe, we ain't got enough food. Y'all gonna have to go to his house. Whoever cooking over there, y'all gonna have to go over there. You were not anticipated. This also brings us to an important insight about boundaries. Always ask first. If you are considering bringing a friend or a new partner, it is crucial to check in with the host beforehand. A simple text or call can go a long way in maintaining the harmony. Not only does it show respect for the host and their efforts, but it also helps avoid any potential discomfort for both the guests and the family. Remember, Thanksgiving is about connection and gratitude, and that includes being considerate of the space and dynamics that have been established. So if you're thinking about bringing somebody along, just ask. It's a very small gesture that can make a big difference in ensuring that everyone feels welcome and comfortable. Now, if you're at a Thanksgiving gathering, of course you want to compliment the food. And I'm going to show you some code switches because you want to sound nice, but you want to be honest at the same time. Like if somebody did volunteer to bring another dish of mac and cheese and it's bland, so you can you can respond like, "Oh, wow, this is different. Did you use a secret ingredient?" Curiosity, like I'm trying to tell you that this is horrible and I'm very curious on how it got this horrible type of vibe. And the overcooked turkey, you can simply respond, "This turkey is dry." I'm sorry. I meant it's giving jerky vibes. Okay? You ever have turkey so damn dry that it's like more like beef jerky versus turkey? I'm just telling you exactly what's going on here. I just need to pair it with a little extra gravy to unlock the full flavor type of thing. So yeah, you want to respond, but you got to let people know at the same time, this sucks. The watery greens. Oh, these greens are so light. You must have wanted them to double as detox teas or something, because there's a little more water than greens up in this piece. The watery greens, man, like I said, you don't want to have too much water in them greens. It's going to be soup, all right? And how about the unseasoned sweet potatoes? These potatoes are naturally good. Keeping it organic with no added flavor. I love the health conscious approach. Yeah. The burnt rolls. Nobody wants a burnt roll, but if you happen to get one on your plate, the response can be very simple. These rolls are so bold. I mean, I love how you lean into the extra crispy category. The runny gravy. Ugh, this gravy just flows so freely. It's like a broth. Perfect for sipping. Nobody wants to sip gravy. Please go back and do this again. And if you get a questionable dessert, oh, this pie, this is just so creative. I didn't even know you could put raisins in sweet potato pie. What if the dressing has no flavor? You got to respond. And you can just simply say, the stuffing is so subtle. You really let the bread speak for itself, didn't you, on this one? Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody want to get too creative and they bring this mystery dish, you can respond a little more honestly, like, "Wow, what is this dish called? I've never had anything like it before, and I'm not sure I want to have it again." Also, if you're trying to get something to go, don't get your to-go plate ready before everybody eats. That is just way too tacky. Because if you start fixing a plate to go, I haven't even gotten my plate to sit down with yet. So that to me, like, you are just greedy. You're not even considerate of other people here that have not eaten yet. Again, please do not bring up politics, religion, or messy family history. This is how Tyler Perry gets his scripts written. Don't do that. Hosting Thanksgiving can be very rewarding, yet very challenging. You have to navigate all the complexities of this beloved holiday. There are some do's and don'ts that will ensure that your gathering is memorable for all the right reasons. One of the most crucial aspects of hosting is setting a clear time for dinner and actually sticking to it. So if you're saying dinner's at 3 o'clock, that should mean food is ready and ready to be served. 3 o'clock is not 6 o'clock. We all know the classic scenario. Guests arrive at the designated time only to find that the turkey is still in the oven, the mac and cheese hasn't even started bubbling yet. So this is going to have folks sitting up there waiting, and they hungry because they came with an appetite thinking everything was ready. While it's tempting to invite everyone you know, overcrowding your home can lead to tension and chaos. When too many people are crammed into one space, it can create a sense of discomfort and make it difficult for guests to enjoy themselves. You might find yourself playing referee in a game of who gets the last piece of cornbread, or trying to navigate conversations that overlap the volume and the intensity. Just consider a manageable guest list. It allows meaningful interactions with people, comfortable atmosphere. You want the quality of people there versus how many people you have in your home. Your guests will appreciate the intimate setting more than a packed house. In many black families, there is an unspoken heresy when it comes to who cooks what. And the chef who makes the mac and cheese is often the reverend of the kitchen. While others might be tasked with simpler side dishes or drinks, as the host, it's essential to recognize the strengths of your family members and assign cooking tasks accordingly. I'm going to take y'all back to the movie Soul Food because, the oldest one, Vanessa Williams, the middle child could cook. The youngest one couldn't cook. And the only thing the oldest one was known for making was cornbread. So, hey, baby, you on cornbread duty. So if Aunt Linda is known for her famous sweet potato pie, let her take the lead on that dish. Meanwhile, if your cousin is still fighting about how to boil water, no. Maybe they can handle the rolls or set the table. This not only ensures that the food is delicious, but it also fosters a sense of teamwork and collaboration in the kitchen. Every family has that one Thanksgiving where the menu is so overloaded with carb-heavy dishes that it feels like a culinary competition. You walk into the dining room and you see a mountain of mashed potatoes, stuffing, mac and cheese. While it's still great to have variety, too many similar dishes can lead to a plate that's more overwhelming than appetizing. So instead, aim for a balanced menu that includes a mix of flavors and textures. Consider eliminating the starchy side dishes and incorporate a couple of lighter options like a fresh salad. Guests can enjoy a well-rounded meal without feeling they need to roll themselves out of the house. As Thanksgiving approaches, it's important to remember that good manners can make the celebration even sweeter. Let's get one thing straight. Thanksgiving is a family affair, not a red carpet event. So while you don't have to show up in your Sunday best or designer attire, it's also not the time to roll in wearing your pajamas or the shirt that you've had since high school. Aim for a nice balance, comfortable yet polished. Think of cozy sweaters, nice jeans, a simple dress. You want to look put together enough for family photos, but still be ready to dig into that food. So keep it casual, but classy. Now we got to have some rules at the table because this is supposed to be where we're interacting, enjoying this food, and enjoying each other's company. So when it's time to eat, put the phones away. Thanksgiving is about connecting with family and friends, and nothing ruins a great meal faster than everyone staring at their screens instead of at each other. Now, if you use your phone to take a quick photo to capture a moment, that's totally acceptable. Just make sure it's before the food gets cold, okay? We don't want to sit up here posing all day. Snap a picture at the table spread, your plate, the family, friends, but then put your phone away. Engage in the conversation taking place. Let's go ahead and deal with this debate about kids eating first or last. The age-old debate. And this debate has been going on for Lord knows how long. And some families believe in letting the little ones dive into their feast before the adults so they can be well fed and happy. And others argue that the adults should eat first. That allows them to enjoy their meal without chaos of hungry kids at the table. It's a classic tug of war. Whichever tradition your family follows, just remember a little consideration goes a long way. If the kids are getting restless, maybe it's time to let them have their fill before the adults start eating themselves, because nobody wants to be in the middle of a plate and your child start cutting up because they haven't eaten yet. And then there's the coveted turkey prayer. We all love a heartfelt moment before digging in. But let's be real, nobody wants to be waiting for the food while Uncle Deacon is going on about how thankful he is for every single person in the room. They start telling you their life stories, how they got through last year's family drama. Keep it short and sweet. A nice, simple prayer of gratitude is all that is needed year after year. It's always that one relative who turns the prayer into an epic saga. You can practically hear the turkey whispering, yo, dog, I've already been slaughtered. Let's get to it. I want to save the best for last because if you go to a family function on a regular, there's always those probing questions. So let's dive into the starter pack questions. Like, so you still single? Like, you don't already know the answer to this? Why are you asking me this? You know what's going on. And when are you going to bring somebody home? We're just tired of seeing you. Well, if you're tired of just seeing me, then don't invite me. You can actually send me an Uber Eats card and I'm good. You don't have nobody? Not even a little friend? What does that little friend mean? You're trying to inquire if am I at least getting some, if I don't have something that's a consistency in my life. That'd be killing me. I'm like, you must be bored because obviously you must not have nothing going on. Okay? And the sneaky shade questions. So what happened to that person that you was talking about last year? I ain't talking about them no more. Next. I never knew that anybody at this table was a psychiatrist. Let me know when this degree came in. Do you think your standards are too high? Obviously not, because I'm sitting at the same table with you. And the pressure on aunties and the grandmas, I just want to see you get married before I leave this earth. Do not make a soap opera of you passing, and it's going to be so heart-wrenching that you leave without seeing me get settled. Don't do that. When you going to give me some grandbabies? Can you get, adopt a puppy, something? And you're not getting no younger. I had a family member say it to me before I had my son. I think that heifer hexed me. I ain't gonna lie. I think she hexed me. And you also have the sarcastic and petty cousins. How does it feel being the only one at the kids' table with no plus one? Because they will put the single adults at the kids' table. I don't know why they do that. Just give me a TV tray. Then there's the I'm just saying comments. Your cousin got married last year and she's younger than you. Or maybe you should let me hook you up with somebody. My coworker's son is single. And you're nice and smart. Why hasn't anyone snatched you up? These type of questions grate my ass. I'm not going to lie. Now, luckily, I set the tone and my family members know where it is. If I need you to know something, you'll know. Okay? But they'll also give you those backhanded compliments. Like, you're too good looking to be single. What's wrong with everybody else? And at least you don't have to deal with nobody getting on your nerves, right? And you must love having all that freedom to yourself. I wish folks would just keep their opinions about your life to themselves. Please make your assumptions and leave me the hell alone. So if you need to have some comebacks, like, still single, but at least I'm not bringing anyone who's going to eat up all the food. And I'm just waiting until I can find someone who can season their food like the family does. And I'm single by choice. Y'all make marriage look like work. In closing, Thanksgiving is a time to express gratitude for what we have and connect with loved ones. It's a day to pause, appreciate, and celebrate togetherness. So start the day by sharing things you're thankful for, whether in a group or individually. Gratitude shifts the focus from negativity to positivity and encourage small gestures like helping with the cooking, offering compliments. It just builds more of a loving atmosphere. Now, if you do have any type of anticipation about some drama, just set the tone early. Begin that day with a positive attitude. Now, if you do have to address some family drama or tension, begin the day with a positive attitude and greet everyone warmly. People tend to mirror the energy that you bring in. Avoid controversial topics like politics, past conflicts. Prepare light, inclusive conversation starters such as favorite Thanksgiving memories or future goals. And designate somebody that's calm, a neutral family member to help diffuse tensions if they arise. And for large gatherings, have different activity areas like a kids area, football watch zone, and a quiet space for people who want to relax. Engage in group activities like playing games, watching a Thanksgiving movie, or cooking together to foster unity. But before we wrap this up, I got to give a shout out to the Thanksgiving MVPs. First of all, big shout out to the ones who stayed up all night, brining the turkeys, peeling the potatoes, perfecting the mac and cheese. The efforts make us forget about the chaos temporarily. And also shout out to the cleaning crew. Those are the heroes in the kitchen that are scrubbing the pots and pans while everyone else is taking a nap on the couch. You deserve some leftovers if you help clean up this kitchen. And to the cousins who kept the kids entertained and out of trouble, whether it's football in the yard or setting up a tablet marathon, you are the real MVPs. Remember, Thanksgiving isn't just about food. It's about the laughs, the memories, and the people you share them with. So let's keep it fun, festive, and flavorful. I appreciate everybody tuning into this episode. If you have a moment in your day, please rate the podcast on whatever podcast platform you listen to this on, and make sure you follow me on all social media at Talk to Me Michele, and make sure you check out the other great content on the MBG Podcast Network. Black excellence over there. All black excellence. And make sure you support this show by visiting me at buymeacoffee.com/Talk to Me Michele with 1L. There's merchandise over there. If you want to donate to support the content, I encourage you to do so. Thank you guys so much. And there will be no additional episode this week because I will be in the kitchen cooking. So I will see you guys first week of December. So until next time, you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Peace.
Talk to me, Michele.